When you meet your crush, are you like Tom? Being shy and not dare to talk? Being confused to not know what you should do, but when she left, you regret. Why don't have the conversation with her? How many times have you missed? Tom always grew up with this regret. In a blink, there was time to graduate. Tom didn't still dare to express his feeling. When he saw me walking with the boy, he felt uncomfortable. Several years passed. On that day, me bought lots of things due to be too heavy. Tom ran over to help. This was the first time he had close to her. Tom was so happy, but when Me's boyfriend opened the door, he was heartbroken. He left silently. Time lapsed away. Me got married. She was so beautiful. The happy smile was on her face. Tom felt that me was no longer belonged to him anymore. In fact, he'd never had any chance, and at that night, Tom was drunk. He self-tortured. He found himself as a failed man, and many years passed. Me had children. She had a family of 3. But Tom was still alone. Time lapsed away again. Everything surrounding has changed. There was only Tom's heart the same. Me greeted him. Tom felt uncomfortable with their happiness. He was upset and turned around. Me was bewildered. Tom threw the fresh bouquet into the bin, but it was hurt into a cat inside. It jumped down, and the car was rushing over to avoid the cat. And the car hit on me standing on the side of the road. Me passed away. Her family was separated between life and death. Tom was so heartbroken. Then he stood in front of me's grave, didn't want to leave. From then on, when me's death anniversary came, Tom always brought flowers to visit. Time lapsed away. Tom became older. He had a feeling he didn't have much time left. In the last moment of life, Tom used all his bravery to write his confession that he hadn't dared to say in his time on the grave. Suddenly, he felt heart attack. Tom sat on the side of the road. He looked at a familiar bus station in front. He saw me waving at him. And that moment, perhaps Tom knew what happiness is. He smiled and said goodbye to his alone world. Hope that in the next world he won't be faint anymore, won't hide, but be more brave.